Alright, welcome back to You Know What. I'm Mirage, and this time around I'm gonna be talking about my favorite generation in the entirety of the Pokemon series. I'd say my first favorite. Gen 2 is it's my second favorite. Actually, nah, it's more so a tie, but it's another one of my top favorites. But yeah, this time around I'm gonna be talking about Gen 3. And as usual, I'm joined by Burner himself.
It is I, the guest from the last video, or podcast.
Awesome!
Yo, I'm back.
He's here. And I told you he was gonna be a mainstay, and now he's back.
Guess who's
But
back, back again.
but yeah, Gen 3. Oh boy, I have a lot to talk about when it comes to Gen 3. So there's gonna be a lot. Um, it might come on. Whereas Burner though, he hasn't really played through Gen 3 as much, so everything I'm going to be talking about, at least, I'm not sure. It may or may not be a spoiler to him, at least I think. I'm not sure. But then again, it's a really old game,
And even if
so
it is, I wouldn't honestly mind because it's a Pokemon game. You run through the region, you beat up 8 gym leaders, and then you fight the evil team. You fight the evil god of the week, and then you go become champion of the region. And that's a
yeah,
Pokemon.
pretty much. It's usually a repeat throughout every game, but each generation has a unique set of features, and you know, legendaries and such, as well as like general content. But yeah, regarding Gen 3, there's a lot that I have to go over. Oh boy, I don't even know where to begin.
I guess we
I
should probably talk about the very first thing that people will probably notice. It's on the Game Boy Advance.
oh yeah, it's on the Game Boy Advance. It's no longer restricted to a console with like a lot of like limitations that hold it back. I mean, there are still limitations on the Game Boy Advance, i.e., the things that you know that it lacks in comparison to Diamond and Pearl and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like the whole 3D effect.
But it isn't as noticeable as Gens 1 through 2 because it has a lot more graphical capabilities and has a lot more colors to boot. Which is really weird in hindsight because we actually have a console called the Game Boy Color, but the Game Boy
Yeah,
Advance has more color.
yeah. The
False
Game Boy
advertising!
Advance, the Game Boy Advance, I think, is more like a 16-bit console, and I'd say the Game Boy and Game Boy Color are like 8-bit consoles. So we've actually taken a pretty big step forward in terms of like graphical fidelity here. Um, but yeah, oh man, there's a lot that I have to talk about. Aside from the fact that we moved from the Game Boy Color to the Game Boy Advance, which is a huge jump.
Very
And
much so.
yeah, and at the time people thought that it was very revolutionary for a handheld.
Still is, in fact.
Yeah, I'd say so. Um, but yeah, the Game Boy Advance and RSE. Oh boy. Now the thing is, with me, I played both Ruby and Sapphire, but I never touched Emerald. That's the weird thing.
Really now?
That's the irony. I played Ruby and Sapphire, but I never touched Emerald.
Dude, you missing out on the battle frontier. What you doing? In Rayquaza.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people say that. A lot of people go on and on about how great the Battle Frontier is. I never played it, so I'm not really sure how good it is.
To be fair, I didn't either, so I'm splitting hairs just as much as you are.
Yeah. Like, personally, for me, I'm not sure what the big deal is. I know people say, oh, it's awesome. There's like a bunch of Pokemon you can fight and stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I don't really. It doesn't look like it's as fun as, say, battling online, but okay. But, anyways, regarding like my actual experiences here. So, Ruby and Sapphire are either the first or second set of Pokemon games that I've played. I think I got Silver first, but then I not long after got the chance to play Ruby, and then Sapphire, and then back to Ruby again or something. And as you'd expect, I'm one of those people that pick, like one of the coolest starters, at least to most people, anyways. At least I think. I'm not sure.
What, you don't like
Uh,
Mudkips?
no, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, I picked like the starter that most people regard as being cool, which is Trico.
Fair enough.
And
Honestly, if
oh
I,
yeah,
yeah, if when I played Gen 3, my starter was always Trico, but then again, I kind of have a thing for fire type Pokemon, so hence I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be surprised given my my one of my names I go by on the internet, Werner.
so I take it you picked Torchic at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as for me, I'd usually pick Trico. Mainly because the fact that what he evolves into is amazing.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
always like, yeah, he first evolved into Grovyle and then Sceptile. Um, and it wasn't just like, and it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't talk. Like me picking Trico because he evolved into something cool isn't the only reason. In fact, I didn't even know he evolved into something really cool looking. Like I didn't know Sceptile even existed, let alone Grovyle until you know I think I saw my brother have like Sceptile and or like Trico and Grovyle and stuff, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm sold. I'm picking Trico. Screw it. But so I picked him. It's like, yeah, this is a cool starter. So in regards to like the rivals and stuff, in my opinions with like the gyms, May's pretty cool. But I do definitely miss the fact that we got some like really snarky rivals. But I don't mind May. I don't mind May at all.
She's 100% better in the anime, though. Just pointing that out there.
Well,
In
I
my humble
don't
opinion,
remember.
anyway. So,
I don't remember watching much of the anime, so I don't really have much of a stance on it. I mean, like I watched the movies and stuff, like the Gen 3 movies. I think, what was it, Jirachi Witchmaker? But that was about it.
if you haven't seen
Um,
Pokemon Ranger Temple of the Sea, I'm literally gonna strap you to a chair and we're gonna watch it together, and you're gonna see why that movie is fantastic.
actually, take that back. I might have seen that one. Is that the one with Kyogre in it?
Yeah, Kyogre's in
Yeah,
that movie.
yeah. Never mind. I've seen that one. You're right. I've
Okay,
seen that
good.
one.
I was
Okay.
about ready to scream at you.
Okay. So I think I've seen either one of those. I think I've seen both of them. Um, I don't really have like the greatest memory of how much better May is in comparison to like her in-game counterpart.
Let's just say May is a lot more energetic in the anime. In the games, she's just kind of the stock rival. Same with Brendan, I feel so.
Ah, fair enough. But right. Okay, so May was pretty alright. Again, I don't think she's any better than like Silver, but
Oh, Silver's in a different league compared to May.
yeah, Silver's in like an entirely different league. So yeah, May's alright, but she's not like fantastic or anything. Um, so May's alright. Her fights though are pretty cool. I'd say like each encounter you have with May. I like the fact that in each game you fight them, and then every time you fight them, the Pokemon on their team progressively get stronger. Same goes with May,
Yeah, like
and
it is one of the things that makes you feel like you're going on a journey with the other NPCs, and that's something that remained consistent with most Pokemon games.
yeah, yeah. But with May, the thing with me is that like even in like Gen 3, despite the fact that May doesn't seem to have as much of like a personality in that game as say Silver. She honestly, like, the fact that she still, you know, the fact that she and Brendan, I guess, technically speaking, still pick Pokemon that are like strong against your own typing is nice. I remember like going up against her Torchic, which evolved into Combuskin, and later on a Blaziken. That was cool. I like seeing the evolution of each of her Pokemon. It was nice to watch.
Fire Chicken.
Yeah, and I remember oftentimes I get my butt handed to her so many times. I think it was like the second time you encounter her in that long route that's like over the water. I forget the name of the route.
I probably wouldn't know, so.
Yeah, I think it's like after I think it's like I think it's like after the second gym leader. Um and then I think she had a Whalmer, a Combuskin, and then a Shroomish, I think that was her team. And all those three Pokemon would just demolish me every single time. But then I got better at Pokemon, and then I realized, yeah, never mind, this isn't so hard. I just gotta grind the ever-living tar out of my team before I start fighting her.
Yeah.
That's what I did in Platinum. We'll actually get to Gen 4 next episode.
Ooh, that's gonna be my video. That's gonna be fun.
Yep. But, yeah, Gen 3, honestly, I remember it being a lot harder than it actually is now, but that's only because of the fact that I was a kid.
Yeah, and that's the thing with most Pokemon games. Like, most of the time, you're gonna get your butt handed to you because, you're a kid and you don't understand RPG mechanics for the type
That and you're
advantages.
very inexperienced with Pokemon as well. There are a lot of things that you don't understand when you're playing through the game until later on, when you realize, oh, wait, I could have done this better. Or, oh, wait, I could have done that better. I didn't
Heck,
even realize all these things
there's still some
beforehand.
things I don't understand about Pokemon, like the damage calculations and critical hits and all that
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah,
Granted,
yeah, yeah.
battlers have my utmost respect because I probably wouldn't be able to put in that kind of math.
Exactly. And back then, I don't even remember paying attention to, like, weaknesses and stuff, even though I knew they were present. I just didn't pay attention to them or cared when I was a kid.
It was just like, I want to teach my Blastoise Hyper Beam and I'm going to blast through everything.
Yeah.
Kamehameha!
That too. There was that. Oh, I apologize for coughing a lot.
Well, you got
Yeah, I don't know why I'm coughing so much, but right. So the gym leaders. I gotta remember them all. So, if I recall, give me a second. If I recall, there we go. Okay, so Roxanne, when I went up against her, she was pretty easy. I think Brawly put up a bit more of a challenge, but he wasn't that difficult. And then I think when I got up to Watson was a completely different story. Watson completely just demolished me. He obliterated me. There was nothing left. So Watson I had a lot of trouble with, I remember. I remember having trouble with him and uh Wallace, I think. Him and Wallace, I think, were like the two most difficult. Oh, and maybe Tate and Liza too. All right, so Tate and Liza was pretty difficult. They gave me, quite a bit of a challenge. As for like everything else in the game, though, oh man, there was a lot of cool stuff that I remember in the game. Honestly, like I remember the legendaries, of course. I had no one can forget the legendaries. Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre.
Yep.
Rayquaza being my favorite. Ironic considering the fact that I started off with specifically Ruby. So you'd expect, oh, wouldn't Groudon? So you'd say, oh, wouldn't Groudon be your favorite? I mean, he is now, but that's only because of the fact that he's got a primal evolution to back him up. Should also mention that they made remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, which I love to death. Which is, I know there are people out there that don't like those remakes, but I'm one of the few who like them. And I know that they don't serve as much of a challenge as their original counterparts either. But hey,
Mega
who
Evolution?
cares?
What's that?
Huh?
Mega Evolution? What's that?
Mega Evolution. But yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that. Rayquaza, unlike the other two, Groudon and Kyogre, instead of getting a primal version, Rayquaza got a Mega Evolution. But that's, I'm guessing, because of the fact that they just couldn't see Rayquaza getting a primal reversion, or maybe they just couldn't make it work, or they just felt like it was more fitting to give him a Mega Evolution.
And since then, it has been terrorizing the entire Pokemon community, and even caused Smogon to invent an entirely new tier for competitive battling just for it.
Yep. Mega Rayquaza is hands down one of the objectively the I can't talk. Mega Rayquaza is objectively hands down one of the best competitive Pokemon ever. But we're not here to like gush about how great Rayquaza is.
We'll be swaying away from other great legendaries like the Laddie twins.
Oh yeah, the Laddie twins. That's right. I remember catching those guys. I think I had, or those guys, the twins. I had trouble with catching too. More specific, I think it was more specifically the ones that actually roam, i.e. Latios or Latias, depending on which version of the game you're playing. I think if you're playing Sapphire, you get Latias, and then you get Latios and Ruby, and then you get Latias in Ruby and Latios in Sapphire if you get the, what is it called? The Eon ticket, that's what it's called. I managed to get one of those for, Omega Ruby, I think. It's a shame though because I was stupid enough to actually use an action replay thing for my 3DS, and all the data on that got corrupted. So yeah, there goes all my data on that. I just realized that you shouldn't ever use action replay for stuff like that, and just get everything legit, or do the little, or just find another exploit that's not as dangerous as action replay, because action replay will not benefit you in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, overall, Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, as well as the remakes Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they're great games. I mean, I'm sure not as many people agree with me if I said Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but I know people will agree with me if I said Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
As for my experiences with all of those games, I mainly only played Ruby, a little bit of Ruby, Emerald, and Alpha Sapphire, and a little bit of Alpha Sapphire as well, because I actually got a pre-owned copy that was beat, and coincidentally, it was also modded. So like, I had like a whole crud ton of Master Balls, and let me just say that legendary hunting has never been easier.
Oh my god. Yeah, wow. I'm surprised you didn't manage to find any shiny legendaries with those.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I told this before in like another server that I'm in, but I actually do have shiny legendaries on. Did actually have shiny legendaries on that card. A shiny Dialga and a shiny Jirachi.
Wait, did that come with the cart when you got it, or did you like?
It came with the
Did you?
card, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I had the
I was gonna
card.
say that would have been amazing if you actually caught them.
I know, but that's what I'm planning to do in Sword and Shield. So
Yeah, the shinies should be extremely easy when it comes to that game. But anyways, I think we covered enough, or is there still stuff that we should go over?
no, I think that's just about everything that we need to cover, aside from like a whole bunch of technical stuff that probably should be saved for another time because things like some of the glitches in Gen 3 or some of the more advanced techniques such as
Yeah,
Bad Egg and all that other stuff. I feel like it would be much better to do more research on that topic before we come back and do more technical-wise episodes. But As it
Yeah.
stands, I may not have a lot of great memories with Gen 3, I know a lot of people do, Mirage included, so
Yep.
it's very easy to see why this was the main Pokemon game that people got into, and it fascinates me that it has the same effect that Domino Pearl did on me a few years later. But next time.
Yep. Until then, stay tuned.
Bye bye.